Good morning. This is WLCU Studios at Campbellsville University. This is Alex Jenkins.
And this is Hayden Bimke. We are here on North Columbia Avenue, right in the heart of Campbellsville University's campus. And this is Homecoming 2024, Tiger Tales and Trails.
Yes, today we have a wide list of events going on. We have, of course, our parade. We have a vintage car show going on. We have a play going on. And, of course, our football game at 2:01.
We do. We have our vintage car show, which is at Montgomery Library Lawn. That is from 8 a.m. until noon, so definitely go to visit that. We'll have tons and tons of vintage cars available. Our alumni art exhibit at Pince-Chowning Art Gallery over here by the Music Building, and that's from 10 a.m. to noon. Make sure to attend our tent festival as well by the parking lot next to the President's House. I believe we'll have lots and lots of vendors and stuff to check out there. So
speaking of all the events, what are you most looking forward to today?
I think I am most looking forward to probably the parade later. Seeing our candidates is super exciting. Seeing all of the organizations being represented just in one place, I think is going to be really, really exciting. What about you?
Yeah, probably the parade is one of them as well. I love seeing all the floats, all the different work that these organizations put in. It shows kind of the personality of each group, and it's just, I know those floats take a long time.
They do,
and I'm super excited to, of course, see our president, Dr. Hopkins, and his wife, and hopefully Winston.
I'm super excited to see Winston. I am hoping Winston has some sort of tiger-themed bow tie.
Oh, yes, of course. Our president and his dog, they love to go all out with the tiger pride and the spirit and just represent.
Yeah. Speaking of our all of the different floats and people we're seeing, we have our Grand Marshal today, Mr. Al Hardy. Tell us a little bit about Al.
So Al used to actually be a vice president here at Campbellsville University, and he played a big part in starting WLCU Studios, the TV portion, and he met his wife, Peggy, here at Campbellsville, and after they graduated, they started their ministry together, and now they have a son, Jim Hardy, if you want to talk about him.
Yeah, so Jim Hardy is the I believe he is the athletic director here right now, which is kind of cool because their legacy is still going strong at CU. I know that Al worked in several different departments across campus. And both of them, had ministry here as well. So
yes, I think it shows how Campbellsville University just brings families together, and people never want to leave this place. Every time someone graduates, they're normally back here, somehow helping. So it'll just be really neat to honor our Grand Marshal today. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I am too. Well, it looks like we are going to take a short break here, and we will be right back with more of the 2024 Homecoming Parade.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason. Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Need a ride? Yeah!
Driving with kids is a big responsibility.
Hop in and buckle up!
So don't sweat the small stuff.
You got paint all over our paper!
Get the big stuff right instead.
What does that mean?
Like making sure your kids are in the correct car seat and buckled up for safer travel.
That deserves a wiggly wiggly wig.
To make sure your child is in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Beep, beep. Yeah!
Hey, see if there's... Okay, she can't. No, we don't.
I was going to say, I think it's connected to the light that was on the chalkboard there, but...
And hello, and we're back at WLCU Studios at Campbellsville University.
We are here with Ashley Fox. She is the Director of Alumni Relations, correct?
Yes.
Yes, on Campbellsville University's campus.
So, Ashley, how long have you been working here at Campbellsville?
I've been at Campbellsville. This is my 5th year, but technically this is my 4th homecoming.
Okay.
The first homecoming I ever planned was in 2020, which was COVID. So, and it was virtual. That was my very first one. So this is my 4th. We're very excited.
So, what's the difference between that homecoming where you planned it during virtual and like now? Like, what are some of those main differences?
Some big differences.
The people. That's the biggest thing. Definitely. We did a lot of video. We did a lot of just everything was online. And so this year, everything's in person.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about just how you've enjoyed working with alumni and kind of what that looks like.
Yeah, my job is fun because alumni, it's kind of nostalgic, right?
Yeah,
they,
definitely.
They love to come back to campus. They get to see all the changes that are happening. And every time they step on campus, it's just like their mind's blown.
Yeah.
And so I think that's my favorite part. And hearing their stories, everyone's got a story
Definitely.
here. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had the class of 64, is that coming back?
Yep.
What has that been like, seeing them reconnect with the students now?
It's fun, they're getting up there in age, and in the 60s it really was a lot different here on campus, and so their eyes just kind of get real big, like they don't even recognize the place, but to them it still feels like home.
Yes.
So, and that's the thing that resonated with them, with all of them, really, is it just still feels like Campbellsville.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your role in planning some of the homecoming events.
So there's a committee. There's a bunch of us that are on there, from student activities, security, audio-visual, all these people that go into planning homecoming. And so I am just the head of that, and I'm the organizer of all of them. So,
what would you say the hardest part about planning homecoming would be?
Probably I would say probably the parade is probably the hardest, only because you never know what people are going to show up with. So that's probably the hardest part. Yeah.
So I know you already shouted out a couple of different departments, but tell us how many people are involved in this? I can't imagine.
The committee probably has at least 15 to 20, and that's each a representative from all the different departments. And so it really takes a village to pull this off, and we're just thankful for all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. And how long of a break do you have before you start planning for next year?
Less than 24 hours. We'll give it the weekend, and then we'll start Monday.
Yeah.
So Campbellsville University definitely puts in a lot of work into all of their events going on, and like you saying that, like that just shows how much work is in everything.
Well, thank you so much for your time
You're
today.
welcome.
Thanks for sitting down
Go
with
Tigers.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you so much just for all the hard work putting into this. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yes, and we'll be right back. This is WLCU Studios. Thank you.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I spend with them, it doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
My character, Shazam, knows all about growing up in a family full of teenage superheroes. They're bold.
Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Adventurous. Shazam! There's never a dull moment. And no matter what happens, they'll always have your back. All they need is a place to grow and be themselves. And the best part is, you don't have to be a superhero to adopt a teen. Learn more about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward.
Hello, and we are back at WLCU Studios at our homecoming parade.
Yeah.
We are about to see our Tiger Marching Band come up here in just a moment.
Yes, I can hear them approaching. Let's see. Let's take a look, see if we can see them yet.
I know our Tiger Marching Band has put in so much work. They are always out there practicing. I see them on the field all the time.
I've had the privilege of acting as their announcer this year, and you just wouldn't believe how much work is put into that.
Yes, definitely. I think it's so amazing to just see all the work, all the different songs they do.
Yep. Well, now up we have Campbellsville University's Tiger Marching Band. For their 32nd anniversary show, the Tiger Marching Band will be performing Determination. So join us today at halftime of today's football game to celebrate the strength of determination through sounds from Rocky and music by Taylor Swift, Andre Day, and Journey.
So you definitely want to come out and support our Tiger Marching Band during the game today.
Absolutely.
And here they are. They're about to come up.
Let's take a second to listen. Well, amazing, amazing tunes by our TMB, our Tiger Marching Band. Alrighty, and looks like next up we have our Tiger cheer team. It looks like the cheer team is coached by April Higdon and Dylan Price.
And now we have our Grand Marshal going by, Al Hardy, as we talked about him before.
Al is a 1958 graduate of Campbellsville Junior College, and Peggy a 74 graduate of Campbellsville College.
And of course we have our president, Dr. Hopkins, and his wife, Suzanne.
So excited to see them here today. And
Winston is here.
All right, and looks like we have, who is this?
Brianna Miller.
Yes, Brianna. She was our 2023 queen.
Yes.
Looks like she got her bachelor's in Christian missions and criminal justice.
Yes. And next we have our bass fishing team driving up. They have had really successful years these past few years.
They are actually a nationally ranked fishing team. They got 10 out of 100 teams, or 800 teams nationwide.
Yes, and of course we have our first candidate, Magnolia Russell. She is freshman attendant, and she is from Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Yep, and then looks like we have Georgia Anderson following from the National Association for Music Education, NAFME. She is from Newcastle.
Yes, and after her we have Salem Canals from the Social Work Club. She is a junior, and she is also doing a minor in psychology, and she's from Peru.
Yep, and looks like we have Aubrey Cannon from the Carver School of Social Work. She's a junior criminal justice major here at CU.
And Kennedy Daughtry that just went by, representing Campbellsville Golf.
Looks like next up we have Josie Davis from the CU women's wrestling team. She's a sophomore from Sydney, Ohio. She's a sports management major and involved with Three Trees College Ministries here.
Yes, and Kanaya Douglas just went by. She's representing our Black Student Association, and she is from Louisville, Kentucky.
And looks like we have Mallory Drake Young from Tuesday Night Live.
Yes, and next we have Abby Duvall. She is representing School of Education, and she is a junior from Kentucky, and she is pursuing elementary education.
Looks like we have next up Cardi Galumet from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She's a sophomore here, and she is from Miami, Florida.
Next we have Anusha and Lazarus Harry Prasad representing Delight Ministries, and she is a senior from Taylor County, Kentucky, and she's studying environmental science.
Alrighty, and looks like we have Mackenzie McGee from the CU archery team. She's a senior from Paris, Kentucky. She serves as a Sigma Zeta president and as the Green Minds secretary. She's a Delight worship leader and a first-generation student.
Yes, and next we have McKenna Meeks. She is representing the honors program, and she's a senior from Russell Springs, Kentucky.
Alrighty, and there is Kelsey Overall from the Center for Faith and Ministry. She's a senior from Knoxville, Tennessee. She's a Spanish and Christians mission minor as well.
Yes. And after her, we have Carly Perry representing our Campbellsville cheerleading team. She's a senior from Elizabethtown, and she's specializing in education.
Alrighty, and looks like we have Aaliyah Toll from the CU dance team. She's a senior from Hustonville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Alrighty, and looks like we have our NAFME float next. This is from Campbellsville University's chapter of National Association for Music Education. So this float is accompanied by photos of current students and alumni.
Next, we have our social work and Carver School of Social Work. Their float theme is Tales as Old as Time. So we can definitely see that on the float here. And just, of course, our mascot reading a book.
And the float you see now is the CU women's golf team. They designed their float around Dr. Seuss's The Lorax, keeping with the theme of tiger tails and trails.
Yes. Next up, we should have our Campbellsville wrestling team. They float is the maroon out, and the ladies wanted to make it known that they had a competition last night and were cutting weight when they were decorating the float.
Oh, wow.
So
looks like we have BSA, our Black Student Association, next. Their theme is early 2000s, bringing all the nostalgia, bold colors, and energy of that era.
Next up, we have Tuesday Night Live. Their float is called Tigers in Wonderland. It shows a bright and colorful scene full of bright colors and playful characters. And decorating the floats are playing cards, clocks, teacups, flowers, and everything Wonderland.
Absolutely. Looks like we have the School of Education up next, trailing through the tales of the fairy tales in the field of education. Upon the float, we have highlighted 4 different fairy tales: The Three Little Pigs, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, and Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yes, so cute. I love their float. Our next one we have is the Delight Ministries. They emphasize the privilege of being God's daughters, and it shows the core values of Christian women of God through the rose gold tulle flowers, which represent gratitude and peace. The pink, gold, and orange balloon columns and banners, which represent Delight's Ministries' national colors.
And it looks like we have the archery team float, I believe. It is a fairy tale forest with 3D targets crowned like princesses. Members of the team are driving the float and represent the archery team in their CU jerseys.
Yes. Love to see them out here representing. I believe they've had a pretty successful season so far, and they just finished one of them, and they're going into a next one.
Yeah.
Next, we have our honors program, which is the Honors Jungle. Their float showcases the exciting and dynamic environment of the honors program here at Campbellsville University, where students get the opportunity to experience higher education with curiosity.
All right, and looks like that is the Campbellsville University dance team dancing down the street to High School Musicals, all in this together. Let's take a second to watch them.
Next up, we have the Center for Faith and Ministry. Their float's representing the story of Noah's Ark that we hear about in the Bible. And they have some of Noah's family as well and some cute animals. And the animals on the float are kids who attend Good Hope's Baptist Children's Ministry. And that ministry is led by the Center for Faith and Ministry.
Looks like we have the CU Spanish department. The vibrant parade float celebrates Hispanic cultures with a dazzling array of colors adorned with handcraft paper flowers.
Yes. Next, we have our Howman Wellness Center. In a land far away, a tale of 25 international student adventures, a trail to journey, a path to Campbellsville University.
Absolutely. And it looks like we have a bus following them.
Yes, these are our Poof freeze-dry treats.
Yes.
They will be located on Campbellsville today, so definitely stop by and go get them.
Alrighty, and looks like next up we have some of our vintage cars coming in view. Let's take a second to watch those.
This is always one of my favorite parts of the parade, watching all of these vintage cars come in and just getting able to enjoy them and just see all the work that these people really put into taking care of their cars.
Absolutely, and they should be at the vintage car show later today.
Yes, that is going on until 1 o'clock at the Montgomery Library lawn across from Stapp Hall. So if you haven't made it to any of the events yet, or if you haven't been able to come down to the parade today, that's okay, because like we just said, we have other events going on. We have the Montgomery Library lawn with the car show, and you'll be able to attend that till 1 o'clock, along with other events as well.
Yeah, we also have an art exhibit at the Pinchowning Art Gallery, so make sure to stop by that and see some of our students, I believe, have art out at that as well.
Yes.
And then we also have a tent festival, so make sure to attend that as well.
Yes, well, this is WLCU Studios. Thank you for joining in, and you just watched the 2024 Homecoming Parade.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love. Our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Come start time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Have you ever helped a fellow veteran?
Of course.
Yes. Have you ever asked for help yourself?
It's always tough, right?
I always feel like I can solve my own problems, but eventually, you just can't deal with it on your own.
And you start to question, maybe people would be better off without me. When you realize that you're not alone, once you take that first step, there's so much support.
Hi, and welcome back to WLCU Studios. This is Homecoming 2024.
Yes, as we just saw, our homecoming parade just went by with all of our lovely floats, our beautiful candidates, and our grand marshal, our president, but there's still other things going on today, such as our football game at 2:01. And the reason the time is at 2:01 is to honor Ron Finley, and they call this Finley Standard Time because he would give out random times like 2:33 or something like that. It kind of helps the players remember it, so it'll just be a good way to honor him. And we're playing against the Faulkner Eagles. Our Campbellsville Tigers have currently a streak of six wins and 1 loss, so hopefully we add on to that win side tonight.
The crowning of the Queen will also happen at halftime of the game, so make sure to attend that, and we'll see which of our beautiful candidates are crowned today. We also have the TMB and the dance team will also perform at halftime, so make sure to come see their performances. You also just saw them in the float. And then one last reminder, make sure to follow us on all of our socials, Campbellsville University, WLCU Studios, CU Athletics.
Yes, well, we appreciate you joining us here today and watching our homecoming parade. Definitely come by and stop and come look at our events. Come support our Campbellsville Tigers at our football game today. And this is WLCU Studios with the 2024 homecoming parade.